The Ravens with the backup quarterback went for a 2-point conversion late against the Packers to try to go for the win. John Harbaugh, who's known for going for it at the end of games instead of going for the tie, instead of forcing overtime, he likes to go for the win. Brandon Staley on Thursday night went for it on fourth down 5 times against the Chiefs. He only completed 2. John Harbaugh didn't convert that 2-point conversion. It's one of the topics that a lot of NFL circles have been talking about. Analytics in sports. Should teams be going for it more often on fourth down? Should they be going for 2 instead of kicking the field goal? There's a lot of things going on in the NFL as of late that are heavily influenced by analytics. And, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. What do you guys think? Like, is this the right thing? Is this something that should be influencing coaches' decisions? Should coaches be looking at the analytics? Should they just go with their gut feeling? Should they know their players and be like, okay, this the analytics say to go for it, but my quarterback's not doing that well. What should they do? I think, for the most part, I think I would go with analytics. I'm a numbers guy. I love numbers. I have a math minor. I've always loved numbers. I'm a junkie too. I like going on these websites and checking, completion percentage, yards per attempt, all that stuff, average distance of a throw. I think all of that does tell us a lot of information. So if there's a system out there, if there's people that are working behind the doors, behind closed doors, crunching all the numbers, spitting out these results from all these formulas, and they tell you to go for it on fourth down, to not go for it, to take a 2-point conversion, all of that stuff, I think you got to look at the numbers. I know there's a lot of people that been playing football their whole life. They've played in the NFL, they've played college, they've been an analyst, they've been a commentator, they've been on these talking shows. A lot of them sometimes scoff at the numbers. It is a new thing. If you watch Moneyball, that's one of the main topics of the movie, just analyzing the numbers and building a team from, players that get overlooked because not everyone looks at the analytics. I'm pretty sure everyone's watched Moneyball, and if you haven't, it's a great movie. It's on Netflix. Make sure to watch it. So it's almost along the same lines. Like, you got to look at the numbers, because if you don't look at the numbers, you can miss some stuff that's not just visible to the naked eye. You crunch the numbers, you do all these analysis, you do all these formulas, and these formulas give you a different, like a more complete storyline, a more complete understanding of the game. And obviously you use the numbers, you use what those analysis and those datas are giving you, and you combine it with your football knowledge, and then you're able to form a better decision. But it's not that hard to understand that if you go for it on fourth down and you do all this stuff, that 60% is better than 40%. And when it comes down to that, does your intellect, does your knowledge make up that 10%? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, just because you've been a head coach for that long. You got a gut feeling, the flow of the game, all that stuff. A lot of people say it can't be quantified in numbers, but I'm pretty sure there is analytics that could quantify all that stuff. You just got to change the formula a little bit. Like, if they've converted on more first downs or something, there's always a way to tweak the formula to adjust. Obviously, there is some factor that the coach has to take, is a personal decision. Like, if you're Brandon Staley, if you're John Harbaugh, obviously you need to, not just look at the numbers. Anyone can look at the numbers. Once you crunch the numbers, anyone can read the numbers. Anyone can see that, okay, 55 is better than 45. But obviously you got to take into effect other stuff. And I think, especially in the John Harbaugh situation, it's pretty easy to see what he was doing. Like, you have your MVP quarterback out for the game. You have your rookie, or not rookie, but second year undrafted quarterback playing great, by the way. But, he's still an undrafted second year player who's playing great, but you can't really bank on that as much as, you would like to. And also, you got the MVP, you got the reigning MVP, you got the favorite MVP on the other side. And overtime, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get the ball back. As Brandon Staley knows, the Chargers did not get the football back against the Chiefs. So you're not even guaranteed a shot on offense in overtime. Your defense is beat up. You could potentially end the game here. Just put your defense in a better situation. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is gonna have like 40 seconds, but you'd rather give Aaron Rodgers 40 seconds to get a field goal than give him the whole overtime, lose a coin flip, and give him, you know, 2 timeouts or the whole length of the field to go on, like with unlimited time, 15 minutes, fresh clock. I think they took a chance. It didn't work out. There was a soundbite afterwards, a little video that showed John Harbaugh talking to his quarterback, talking to Andrews, talking to everyone, basically saying, or like, if once we score, like, do we want to go for two? And everyone was all hyped up. Everybody was very, very into the game plan. They understood what they were doing. Everybody was for going for it on 2-point conversion. So I think it was the right call for John Harbaugh. And for Brandon Staley, you know, he's the one that's really probably taken the most heat out of anyone. And I mean, he's the one that's gone for it on fourth down the most. And this time it didn't work out for the Chargers. They were so close. It didn't work out. But it worked out for them the first time they played against the Chiefs. So I don't think you could pick and choose and be like, okay, you know what? He shouldn't have gone for it on fourth down. He shouldn't have done this. Because the same things, for all the negative things that were being said against about Brandon Staley this week, the same positive things were being said when they beat the Chiefs. They were like, man, he has the biggest cojones in the league. Like, this guy, he has freaking tough skin, the thickest skin in the game. What a coach. Like, everybody was praising him. Rookie head coach doing this. Like, this guy got some balls on him. Like, he's legit, man. This guy is the shit. So you can't just flip-flop. You can't just praise him when obviously you can. Everyone's going to do it anyways, but I feel like you're being a little hypocritical. If you praise the man when it goes good and then you criticize him when it goes bad, it's like, okay, like, we all know it's either going to go good and you're going to praise him, or it's going to go bad and you're going to, you know, vilify the man. But overall, I think Brandon Staley is really building something with the Chargers. I think the numbers, you got to make the numbers. You got to read the numbers. You got to understand the numbers. And I think Brandon Staley does. He's one of the bright young minds in the NFL. There was a reason the Chargers grabbed him. There's a reason they signed him. 39 years old, very young for a head coach. But he looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks. I like how Brandon Staley looks. When I see the Charger games on TV, he's always pacing on the field. He always looks very, very focused. Obviously, you're the head coach. You should look focused. But there's just, I don't know if you guys could tell, but there's this look that Brandon Staley's just super invested, concentrated on the game. Sometimes coaches look a little nonchalant, a little like, okay, like, you know, I'm playing it cool. Brandon Staley looks like he's living every second of the game. And I appreciate that for Brandon Staley. I like how he's made the Chargers this aggressive team. And when you have Justin Herbert, I don't know if you still consider Mahomes a young quarterback. He's like on his 4th or 5th year. So I kind of consider him a veteran now. You got the best young quarterback. First 2-3 years, I would consider like a young quarterback. You got the best young quarterback in the NFL in Justin Herbert. Why not go for it? Like, I like what he did, especially when you consider that, you know, Kelly fumbled after they converted a 4th down, I believe. And then Parham, I hope he's doing well. I hope he's, you know, he recovers. He had a very scary concussion where he was untouched. It's just a freak accident. Like, players fall down all the time, and like, this is like a 1 in 1,000 time that it happens. Like I said, I just want Parham to be good. I want him to be, you know, recover. All signs point that, you know, he's making a full recovery. He's gonna be good. But that play worked. Like, other than the fact that it was a freak injury and the ball popped out of Parham's hands once his head hit the floor and he became concussed and he lost consciousness. Other than that, like, a freak injury happening and Parham landing like super quick, like his momentum really made his body hit the floor like very fast. I'm pretty sure Parham has caught over 1,000 balls in his career where his body kind of thumps the floor and his head ricochets, or it almost hits the floor, or it kind of hits the floor, or hits it a little bit, and he's been fine. Like, it's been like he's been able to take that fall. It's either, you know, he rolls on his shoulder, he takes it on his back. And for some reason, on this particular play, it was just a freak injury and his head snapped and hit the grass, and he just got knocked out unconscious. But that play worked. Are we talking? Are we still criticizing Brandon Staley if Parham, like he's probably done a million times in his career, catches the ball, goes to the ground, his head probably hits the floor a little bit, but he's fine. Are we still having this conversation if that play doesn't happen? Like if Parham is just able to, fall to the ground like he's done a lot of other times? Probably not. We don't know. We can't. It's a butterfly effect. Like everything would have changed. We don't know. We don't know. And there is a chance that he converts these fourth downs and the Chiefs just go berserk and they still lose. It's all a butterfly effect. But what I'm trying to say is that I applaud Brandon Staley for going for it. And I mean, he knows what quarterback he has. Obviously, if you have Garoppolo, you don't want to be going for it on fourth down too many times. But if you have Justin Herbert, if you have Eckler, if you have Mike Williams, if you have Keenan Allen, you feel a little better about going for it. And if you're playing against the Chiefs, you got to factor that in. You can't be taking field goals. Obviously, the Chiefs offense hasn't been the juggernaut it's been before, but you're playing the Chiefs, you got to go for it. So I'm all for it. I like what John Harbaugh is doing too. I like their cojones. For my money, if the numbers back it up too, even if the numbers didn't back it up, if it was 50-50, I would still say go for it. Like the momentum, the thrill that your team gets, but the numbers do back it up, so it's even like better. Like good job, Brandon Staley. Take a chance. Like if it was like 48-50, 52, and you were like, you know what, like it's worth that 48. Like we're gonna win the game. We have a higher chance of beating the Chiefs, in my opinion. If like fuck it, let's do it. But we'll see how this plays out. I think we're already seeing a revolution. I think we're already seeing people follow Brandon Staley's lead. So I think it's just gonna ramp up even more, and I'm excited for that. Like fuck it, if you're on the 35 and you don't have the best kicker, go for it. Like just go for it. If you're in the end zone and you feel like you could score if you get one more down, go for it. Honestly, fourth downs make the NFL more interesting. So I say go for it. I'm all for it, and I hope it's here to stay, man. I hope more people go for it on fourth down. I hope more people go for it on 2-point conversions. Let's do it.